got how to maximise output in a dieting phase, so looking at things like steps and your cardio. So people needlessly increase the cardio from the off before they've actually fully maximised what they're already doing. Like you see loads of people going through the motions, whether it's on a cross trainer, step or whatever, just going through the motions, not really hitting a massive amount of calorie expenditure or even a high heart rate. So before you even look to increase on a weekly basis, try and make sure you increase the actual output for that time session. One other thing as well, so if we're looking at steps, loads of people go through the motions with that as well. They go for a stroll, they take it easy. You'd be surprised at how far you can really go in 20 minutes on a step front if you go out and be aggressive with it. We'll often find when we dieted last time, we used to do certain loops and we'd literally race each other. You look weird as fuck while power walking, but if you're fucking going to beat the other person stepping, you're expending more calories, aren't you? So be aggressive when you go in for that kind of thing. And then likewise, what we talked about training the other week, tracking your numbers. So if you are on the stepper, track the amount of calorie totals you are getting. Say you're doing 4 times 20 minutes, track the amount you're doing, try and beat the scores next time. Once you then start to increase the output, carry on tracking, set new targets and keep beating those as well all the time. Yeah.
Something, if you are struggling to gauge how hard you work and say you're new to this, you can track your heart rate and say, right, I can't drop my heart rate below 730 beats per minute, and you can use that as a tool until you learn where you need to be at in the effort level that you push through at.
Yeah, just don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
Don't be a pussy. Yeah, whatever cardio you've got or whatever steps you've got, make sure it is that and you're not messing about like texting away when you're doing your steps or when you're doing your cardio. Make sure you do your cardio hard for the time that's set. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Treat your cardio like you treat your weights.
Yeah.
You always want to max out on a deadlift, but you can't be asked doing a cross trainer. Like you've got to do it both ways. You're going to attack it with the same intensity, and that's how you're going to get some serious condition.
So I've had a question on what supplements should you take with low energy. Now where I'd start here is actually your lifestyle and your routines on a day-to-day basis. So first you want to look at your sleep. You want to look at your sleep hygiene, your routines, are you chilling out at night? Have you got a regular bedtime? Have you got a regular get-up time? And once you've maximised your sleep and you're getting the most out of it, then you can start looking at other aspects in your life. You want to look at foods that provide energy and don't make you feel worse, suffer with digestion. Then you want to look at your training as well. Then you've got to look at your work schedule as well and everything that goes around in your social life. And then a big one on top of that is stress management. You know, you've got various stresses through the day. I remember some of the people you look up to on Instagram, their life is being an athlete. So they do evolve their life around training, eating, sleeping. But for the rest of us who are living normal lives and working long days, we've got families and jobs to hold, you have to take all these other things into consideration. Then you can start looking at alternative routes in regards to supplementation.
Yeah, I think people jump to supplements too quick, too early, when they have to deal with a lot more other factors before jumping into a supplement. So like Zach said, address all those issues first, then the supplements become really useful then. You know, it'd be like putting a plaster on something, otherwise you're taking sleeping supplements and you've still not dealt with the actual cause of the problem, so definitely deal with that first and then take the supplements.
As well.
But if it was supplements, what supplements would it be?
Like if you think as well, save the time when you do use them, especially in the deep end of the dieting phase. Don't just try and use pre-workout every time you're training. If you know that the big back session or the big leg session is going to be the one you're going to struggle with, save your caffeine consumption for that day. On the other days when you know you can get through a push session, you know you can hit it with some intensity, save your extra caffeine intake for those big days instead.
Now on that as well, if you are in a diet phase, you are going to have to deal with feeling tired. It's part of the process. As we all know, like when you start getting deep into a diet, energy levels are going to be low. So it's like Danny says, preserve it for the right times.
I'll suck it up.
Yeah, you're not always going to get the best sleep, especially if you're towards the end of a diet phase. So your sleep ain't going to be great anyway. Yeah, just do your best. Ashwagandha, magnesium.
Magnesium glycinate's a great one for switching off at night.
Yeah. But address all the other issues first. My question?
Yeah.
What is it? Struggling to gain mass. So yeah, I'm struggling to gain weight. What should I do?
Nice and broad there.
So I'm assuming this guy or girl, is a hard gainer.
Hard gainer.
And struggling to put on muscle. So
listen up, Paula.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, listen up. So first of all, nutritionally, I wish there was a fucking easy way out, but there's not. It is consistent calories. So keeping on top of your food. When you ask people what they're eating, they say, I'm eating loads, I'm eating loads. When you actually document it, it's not at all. They'll go into a surplus for 1 or 2 days, usually at the weekend. Monday comes, they're straight back to their normal food of lower calories. So the key for somebody who's struggling to gain weight is to make sure you measure your food every single day, including the weekends, and make sure that you've eaten that amount of food by the end of the day. You can't skip one day, especially the guys that struggle to gain weight. You can't skip a day, and it's the hardest thing. I find building muscle is much harder than dieting down because there's no let up at all. So make sure you hit your calories, make sure you get all your food out for the day, make your food tasty, don't make it boring. If you are in a surplus, you can afford to put a few sauces on things. It doesn't need to be very much like the diet plain food. So make it interesting, make it tasty, and then you'll keep going back to your food. There's nothing worse than eating plain boring food, and then that's the reason why you're not going to hit your calorie goal for the day, because you're just sick of eating food like that. So make it tasty, make it convenient for you, and don't miss a day with the food. That's definite for sure. With anything on food?
Yeah, so you want to choose foods as well. Like a lot of these hard gainers, they say they have a massive appetite, but they'll be, like Andy said, they'll be using like diet foods as well. You want to be looking at more your calorie dense foods, so they're easy to digest. Per gram you're getting a lot more calories than if you say eating rice. You might choose granola or something of that sort.
Mindset as well around it. Like everyone has loads of intensity with dieting and stripping down, but like you were saying about tracking, making sure when you are in a surplus you track every avenue of it. Like it's so easy to get lax with it when you're trying to put size on and trying to eat, but you do forget to fucking eat. Like prep your food on a weekend when you know that's the time that's going to be there. Like loads of people on a weekend think, fuck, it's the weekend, I've got loads of time, don't prep nothing, end up eating 3 square meals, 3 meals and that's it. So it's just making sure you have the same intensity throughout, whether it is a surplus or whether it is cutting down.
One thing on the size, you want to be thinking long term as well. Like a lot of the lads we'll work with are like your beefheads, you know, they'll diet down for 3 months of the year, they'll come out for 2 months, and the rest of the year they're kind of flitting and stressing about putting a bit of weight on. It's like you really have to push 1 or 2 years to really put some serious size on. If you're constantly yo-yo dieting because you want to stay lean and be vain, that's where you're going to fall down as well.
Yeah, it's very important that you get your mind right to hold a little bit of body fat and be comfortable with it. If you're stressed out about being fat, then you just ain't going to get big. It's as simple as that. You have to stay, like Zach said, you have to stay long enough in a surplus to actually put muscle tissue on. It takes forever to put muscle on. It's just the way it is. So you've got to spend a long time eating and training. On training, you make sure that you're not doing too much output. So everything, the opposite we say of dieting, like nailing your steps, nailing your cardio and all that, you want to reduce that as much as you can.
Sit down a little more often.
Just reduce all that. You need as many tools in the bag as you can to force muscle growth. So sit down, chill out, don't do too many steps, be a touch lazier. That doesn't mean get unfit, because there's a key there. A lot of people think that you should get unfit. No, it's not. Make sure your heart and lungs are still fit, but where you can, do reduce your output.
Sound.